And we're live. This is Damage Gamer, and then we're returning to Civ 5 Vox Populi. And don't worry, this is not a rant video like the last one, even though it was like around 50% renting and 50% advertisement. This is more like 100% advertisement. You have been warned. Anyways, the point of this one is to show off another mod I've been working on, and it's called New Belief mod. So this one, oh shit, I don't remember the numbers off my head, but it adds 2 founders, 8 followers, 2 reformation, and 2 enhancers, to my knowledge. 2 founders, 2, 4, 6, 8 followers, 4 enhancers, and 2 reformations. They're not exactly balanced. I mean, I need people to test it out to give feedback. I haven't had the time to do that, unfortunately, so yeah, that's not gonna work out. So first one, caste system. You have this Royal Temple National Wonder, which gives you faith and culture. When the cities built, bought, purchased in the holy city are promoted. So basically, that's kind of similar to the Japanese dojo, where if your units in that city are promoted, you get yields. That one gives culture and science. This one gives faith and culture. And you get +5 faith from holy sites. And naturally it unlocks Reformation belief. And the moment you unlock caste system, you get +1 yield from specialist. Right, so your engineers give 1 extra production, scientists specialists give 1 extra science. You get the idea. And then you get +2 faith and production from horses and iron. So caste system is kind of interesting because it's kind of like, if you look at it, it's kind of focused on war because warrior class is like pretty high up, and it's also on specialists. So personally, I feel like this is the most ideal for tall empires, where you're going for more like quality over quantity. That's where the yields you get from promotions come in, and then you get the extra yields from specialists. So naturally, you'll be working specialists to get more great people, and meanwhile, hopefully, you have some strategic resources which you are using to defend yourself and to give yourself more yields. So that's the first one. And the other one is a bit more weird because I have limitations regarding what I can achieve, and I noticed that oh, never mind. I thought I forgot a bracket. So I wanted to make this kind of like the no. Which one is it? One of Way of Transcendence. Oh yeah, Holy Law. So Holy Law, you unlock a policy, you get these yields that basically scales with the number of followers. This is a bit different because I have limitations to modding, and it requires new code to do the same with unlocking technology. The previous idea was that I wanted to, when you unlock a policy, you get tourism, culture, and production, or golden age points scaling with followers, but I can't do that until I get better at modding. So right now, I mean, it's a really roundabout way. So first, when you get this founder, you get flat out 5 golden age points, tourism, and culture in holy city, which is pretty strong, right, to begin with. And then once you spread enough so that you can build this, suddenly every time you research technology, you get golden age points, tourism, and culture. And I guess I didn't specify, but it actually scales. So it's 75 of each of those scaling. And then you also get plus 5 science from Holy Site. So those are the two founders. I feel like they're okay. Like they're not stupidly strong, but they're decent. And then here's one of the followers, Apocrypha. Just because I could type these doesn't mean I could pronounce these, okay? So this is one of the followers where you get plus 1 culture and 2 faith from great works, which I feel makes it so that maybe you want to go an approach where you want to get as many great works as possible. So that, like, you might want this, you want Uffizi to give more culture to great works. Just trying to go that way, that route. I feel like it's kind of lacking. There's quite a bit on great people, but not quite enough on the great works themselves. I feel like it'd be fun if your main focus is getting great works, whether stealing them or just getting them, right? And let's see. I chose Byzantium so I don't have to get another great prophet. But maybe in hindsight, that's not the smartest thing. Anyways, next is Exegesis. Another follower. Shrines and temples gain plus 2 faith, culture, and science. I know it doesn't seem like much, but usually at this point, you already have shrines, so you're already going to benefit that. And maybe you're getting... Don't forget, this is a follower, so when you find, you might go for this because you're going to go for a lot of shrines and temples, and you want to benefit from those immediately, right? It's not a ton of yield, but the time when you could potentially access them makes it pretty worthwhile, in my opinion. I mean, maybe people can prove me otherwise. And I am open to numbers adjusting, and by the time this video come out, there might be numbers adjusted. Who knows? Let's see. Next one is... We will have to go through all of these pantheons. Golly Inspiration, which is an enhancer. So the old iconography had plus 2 great people in the holy city. I want to... someone made a really good suggestion, and I kind of like splitting it up, right? So here you get plus 3 great person points for engineer, merchants, and specialists in capital. Don't worry, I have a version where it doesn't have that space. Yeah, it looks pretty bad in my opinion. And if you select them, it actually overlaps, so not good. And holy city owner gains plus 2 science for every foreign city following this religion. So the more you spread, the more science you get. So there's that bit of scaling. And the plus 3 is nice because it'll let you get a couple more. Guruship, another enhancer. So you get 2 faith and 2 science from specialists. So if you're going tall, that is gonna start, like, you will notice that, well, hopefully you'll notice the science, because the idea is if you're going tall, you have fewer cities, you have fewer penalties, so the extra bit of science from the specialist you're already working will pay off more, right? Your capital with all the modifiers will grow stronger and stronger, and that extra happiness might be needed. I don't know. There's a lot of people who said they have no problem with happiness, and some do. I have no idea. I've had problems, but not with tall. But I guess what this will do is it will allow you to grow your cities a bit more without worrying about the happiness. At least that's my hope. And then afterwards we got Iconoclasm, which is plus 3 gold and 2 faith from all religious buildings. So maybe you're going the religious route and you want to get as many religious buildings as possible. And with with Byzantium, you could potentially get 4. Okay, you could use your 2 follower beliefs, your bonus belief, and then if you go fealty, you could get monastery. All of those will benefit from that, in addition to shrines and temples. So maybe you just want a lot of faith. I feel like this might open doors to certain playstyles where you need a lot of faith. Like if you go zealotry, right? Because iconoclasm. Wait, actually, I think I got it wrong. Right, iconoclasm is an enhancer, so you can't get zealotry. But maybe you want to. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, maybe you get 3 religious building, one of them being monastery, and then you get the veneration or whatever it's called, the one that you get culture and gold from faith purchases. So if you get more faith, it means that you'll be able to get more yields from there, and maybe that can help you snowball more, right? And then later on, it will be useful because you could get more great people since you have higher faith production. At least that's the hope. And we have the jizya, which is +1 gold for every follower and +1 happiness for every 3 followers of other religions in own cities. So if you have opponents that put a lot of pressure, you can suddenly benefit somewhat from it because you're getting more gold and some happiness. Wow, I need to fix that. Yeah, okay, that's another thing I need to fix. And sometimes going through these, you're like, oh, text. But it works. At least I tested them individually when I finished them. Now, whether or not they're broken later on, I don't know. And next we have meditation, which is another follower. So you get more combat strength for cities, so defending will be easier. And you get +2 faith, 1 production, and happiness per city. I wanted to give HP, but it proved a lot harder to implement. So I went for this. So the idea is defensively, you're stronger and you get some nice yields in your capital, and maybe the whole point is to, at least my intention is that you pick this so that you can survive the early and mid game, so that late game, maybe that's when you start really seeing your bonuses, or that's when you start getting your unique unit. You know, it's kind of buy time, but maybe it's not as good as I think I want it to be. But like I said, I need feedback, or else it's really hard to determine. And the next, reincarnation. This is a classic case of I'm trying to achieve A, but I can't do it, so I have to go with B. So the original plan was when you expand a great person, you get the same yield of that great person in your holy city scaling with era, or at least something along that line. Maybe not scale. Maybe that's a bit too strong if it scales. I learned that I can't do that. So instead, I'm giving yields. For example, you expand an engineer, you get 75 production. You get great engineer and great admiral, you can actually get the respective great people points. Great prophets give food, and great diplomats give golden age. None of these scale with era because I feel that'd be too powerful, especially when it's a follower, right? It shouldn't be that powerful. Sacred monument, basically the opposite of godly inspiration. You get great person points for writer, artists, musicians, and that's when you get culture for every foreign city. So definitely encourages you to spread your religion. And I'm missing. Okay, yeah, I'm like I'm missing something. And a sweat lodge is a new religious building. It gives quite a bit of faith, a little bit of culture and happiness, and it removes some distress. And mostly it gives you quite a bit of resistance. So it doesn't spread your religion as much, but the hope is that it fends off enemy religions more so that you don't need as many inquisitors to deal with them. And Right, I already talked about theologian studies. Okay, it is, yeah, it is veneration. And that's it. So, are they balanced? Probably not. I need somebody to test it out before I know. Once I find time, I'll probably be able to test them out myself. But yeah, it's kind of tough finding time, especially with things going on right now. Anyways, I'm going to end the video